to all the viewers today. We have Rahul Khera for the discussion and presentation on circular economy and waste reduction. I welcome you, Rahul, to CH20. Thank you so much for taking our time and participating in this summit. Over to you.
Thank you, Manisha. Thanks for the kind introduction. And I would like to thank the CH20 organizing team to give me this opportunity to interact with other young chain makers. So, Manisha, I will be sharing my screen if that is okay with you.
Yes, sure.
I'm part of this program to interact with the young chain makers who are working in circular economy as part of this CH20. So the aim of this talk today would be to inspire other chain makers who want to work in the circular economy field in India or elsewhere. Since we are addressing the young chain makers, I think it is very important that we present the opportunity, we present the market size that lies ahead in the circular economy, along with the right kind of approach that is required if we want to really solve this critical problem and also make a impact for ourselves in circular economy. So I often use this term when I refer to circular economy as great garbage gold mine, and there's a reason for that. India is a growth story. I mean, we are hosting the G20 summit. We are having the presidency of G20 summit this year. We are skyrocketing in our production. Our GDP is increasing. Our per capita consumption is increasing, and so is our population. And with all this growth, with all this increase, there's another thing that is silently, quietly increasing, and that is our waste. And it is about time that India start paying attention to its waste problem. Otherwise, the new heights that we want to achieve will be overshadowed by the growing garbage in our country. So it is very important that as a country, as individuals, we start recognizing this problem. And I believe that with every problem tags along some opportunities. So it is important to talk about the size of the opportunity that we have in India in terms of circular economy. So the first we will talk about how big the problem is in India, and this slide only represents the urban waste management, urban municipal solid waste management scenario in India. That 40% of our waste, 40% of our waste is still not collected. And if we talk about the waste that is getting processed, then we are only processing about 70 to 80%. We are only processing about 20 to 30% of our waste. So 70 to 80% of our municipal solid waste is not getting processed. So this is the magnitude of the problem. And with this magnitude of the problem, there comes the opportunity that by 2025, India's waste management market is going to be of 15 billion USD with an annual growth rate of around 7%. And just to give you a perspective that in 2020, the total telecom equipment revenue was around 26 billion in India. So we are talking about a waste management market that is comparable to any of the core industries in India. So that is the kind of challenge and that is the kind of opportunity that lies ahead with us as a country and as the youngsters want to take it up. So it is also very important that we understand when we talk about the problem, we kind of disintegrate the problem and understand that how to approach what is the major problem that lies ahead. So when we talk about waste management in general, most of the time we end up thinking or discussing about plastic. The plastic is the only bane that we see in the waste management. But that is not entirely true. That does not mean that plastic is not a problem. Every waste stream needs a proper handling. But we have to understand the scenario that is specific to India. India is a country of fresh cooking, and 50 to 55% of our waste is biodegradable waste. Rest 30% is recyclable, and rest 15% or so is the inert waste. And out of this 55% compostable waste, if we talk about today's scenario, then only 5 to 10% of that is getting processed either through composting or biomethanation. So imagine that the waste stream that constitutes to 50 or more percent of our waste is not being paid a lot of attention to. And what happens if we do not pay attention to this waste stream? If our kitchen waste, if our organic fraction of waste, if it keeps on getting dumped into the landfill, then it creates two major kind of problem. One is the environmental problem. It causes our land, air, and water to be polluted. Uh, Landfills are one of the primary source of methane generation, because when all these food items they rot in the landfill in absence of oxygen, they releases methane. Methane is a more potent gas than carbon dioxide, which contributes more to the greenhouse effect. So it is important that we identify the problem, that the environmental problem associated with the organic fraction of the waste are huge. Along with the environmental issues, if we do not take care of our organic fraction of the waste in a proper manner, it creates a lot of social issues as well. I mean, we have thousands of people in India who are working at the lowermost strata of the society, lowermost layer of the pyramid, where they are working as rack pickers and waste workers. And when all this food waste get mixed with our other kind of waste and goes to the landfill or to secondary transfer station, it creates a health hazard to our waste workers. So if we start processing the waste, which is 55 to 50% of our waste, then we can actually address a lot of environmental and social problems that occurs due to it. Now, the beauty of waste management is whatever field of waste management you want to work, whether it be dry waste, whether it be wet waste, depending upon the skills and depending upon the interest that you have, the waste management industry or the circular economy industry provides you an opportunity. See, it's a complex problem. So the complex problem which has multiple elements to it, and all these elements require different kind of skill sets. So all the youths out there who want to make a career in circular economy, based upon your interest, your educational qualification, what you want to do, you can work on various fields. So if you, let's say if you're a person who's good with communication, who is good with media, then you can probably step into be a NGO or be a agency that can work on the IC activity, education part of the waste management, source segregation, and all that. If you are someone who is good with the operations, then maybe you can get into the collection and transportation of the waste, because logistics is one of the most important part of the circular economy. If you see yourself as a biotech person, or if you see yourself as a person who want to establish a small scale or a medium scale industry, then you can get into the dry waste recycling part or the wet waste processing part of it. So waste management industry gives you a huge spectrum of opportunity depending upon the skill set and depending upon the interest that you have. Uh, Now, one thing that we need to understand is that whatever part of this complex problem you choose to solve, but it is very important to have the right kind of mindset to solve that problem. And since waste management is it's not just a, it's not just a business, right? It's a complex social and environmental problem that we have in hand. So if we really want to solve this problem, then the current type of industries which are functional in this domain are either traditional non-profits or they are traditional businesses, big businesses. The problem with traditional non-profits, I'm not saying that they are not doing a good job. They are doing a wonderful job from so many years to help in whatever ways in this circular economy aspect. But the problem with the traditional non-profit organization is that they are always dependent on external help, on some kind of funds or grants to perform whatever critical function that they are performing. On the contrary, a traditional business will always be focused more on profit generation. But circular economy is a field that requires empathy towards environment, that requires empathy towards the people who are working in waste. So it is very important that whosoever starts working in the field of waste management comes with a social enterprise mindset. And when I say social enterprise mindset, what exactly it is? A social enterprise is nothing but an organization. It is a profit making organization that does not just keep profit at the priority, but also focus on the impact that it wants to create in the environmental or the social impact, social aspect. The other aspect of a social enterprise is that they want to identify the right kind of problems to be solved, which creates the most impact. And the third most crucial aspect of a social enterprise is that whatever problem you choose to solve, you also have to choose the right methods of solving the problem. A problem could be solved in many ways, but you have to choose the right way of solving that problem. So, in nutshell, the people, the youngsters who are aspiring to work in the in the circular economy field, I think it is very important that you develop a social enterprise mindset where you focus on purpose along with the profits, not just the profits. So that is a very important aspect. Now, Balancing Bits is a company that we started in 2018 with this mindset of a social enterprise. We started really small, and right now we are running around 35 projects which works on decentralized waste management. So Balancing Bits as an organization works on decentralized waste management model. Our primary stream of waste that we are handling is organic fraction of the waste. So we handle bulk waste generators, any residential society, commercial complex, restaurant, hotel that generates their kitchen waste is our primary customer. And what we do is that we help them to process their waste within their premises by setting up composting or biogas units for these bulk waste generators. So since our inception, we started from Gurgaon, and now we have presence in multiple cities like Gurgaon, Noida, Greater Noida, Delhi, Chandigarh, Varanasi. So we have around 35 successful projects running all over India where we are helping the bulk waste generators to process their kitchen waste through decentralized composting or biogas models. Uh, Now, I told you about the social enterprise mindset. So this is how we apply our social enterprise mindset. The first thing that we identified is that what is the social or the environmental mission that we have. So as an organization, we want to have clean cities. We want to create or make our soil healthy, and we want to make people happy around it. The problem that we are solving that we thought required most attention was the kitchen waste, because as I told you that most of the time when we talk about circular economy, people often perceive it as a problem with the plastic, but it is not. As I told you, that 50 to 55% of our waste is kitchen waste. So if we are able to find the right processing for this kitchen waste, then imagine that 50% of our problem is already solved, and remaining of the 50% waste will find its place, because kitchen waste is the stream of waste that also pollutes the other stream of waste. So once you have taken care of your kitchen waste at the source, it will also increase the recycling potential of the remaining of the waste stream. So that is why we chose that we want to focus upon working with kitchen waste rather than any other stream of waste, and solving it in the right manner. So that is also equally important to us. And that is the reason that all our solutions and services are designed in such a way that they are environmental friendly. We do not employ any kind of incineration based technology, which could be counterproductive to the entire initiative. All our products that we kind of sell in the market, we try that we do not use any kind of plastic packaging. So you have to be conscious that way, that whatever services and solutions you are designing are aligned with your company's vision and mission. So this is how Balancing Bit has its alignment to the mindset of a social enterprise. Uh, these are the products and services that we offer. So as I told, we are primarily helping to solve the problem of bulk waste generators with their organic fraction of the waste. So we have multiple composting solutions available with us depending upon the quantity of the waste that a bulk waste generator produces and depending upon the space that they have in their premises. We also provide them horticulture waste management service, which is another very important aspect, especially in a urban scenario that needs to be addressed in order to achieve a holistic waste management in an urban scenario. This is our impact report over past 4.5 years. Total number of projects that we have worked with various respected clients in Gurgaon and elsewhere is 35 plus. The total waste that we process on daily basis is around 10 ton per day. And the most satisfying part of all this is that while doing all this, while solving this critical problem for our city and for the bulk waste generators, we are able to generate employment for around 40 people from waste worker society, waste worker colony. So that gives us immense pleasure and proud that we are able to generate that employment for them, and not just the employment, we are also able to help them to improve their standard of living by providing them proper social security, providing them a bank account, PF, ESIC, and all those things. Uh, Along with that, a very important number that flashes here is 40,000. This is the number of citizens that we touch on daily basis, that our services somehow directly or indirectly are being offered to the number of citizens, 40,000 on daily basis. So what happens is that when you are processing the waste of 40,000 people, then the the habit of segregation that stays alive with them, because they see that the waste that they are segregating is getting processed. So around 40,000 people trust us with these services, and in doing this, doing processing their wet waste, we also help their dry waste to be recycled in a more efficient manner. Now, this is a very small example that how small steps can create big impact. So this is a flyer that we sent to the residents of one of the societies where we are working. So the compost plant started in 2018, and since the inception of the compost plant, we have diverted 376,000 kgs of kitchen waste from going to landfill from that one society, which if we do some number crunching, that it contributes to the emission reduction equivalent to driving approximately 9,000 kilometers by every household. The society has around 500 households. So when people start relating and seeing these kind of results by a small step that they do in their society, just by segregating their waste and sending it to the compost plant that has been established within the premises of the society, this makes them more engaged towards such kind of causes. And imagine that we are doing this for around 35 societies here in Gurgaon. So what kind of cumulative impact gets created if every society, if every bulk waste generator starts processing their waste within the premises or as near to the source of generation as possible? This slide shows the total cumulative effect that we created in year 2022. Forget all the other numbers. The only thing that I want to highlight here is that in year 2022, the amount of waste that we processed was equivalent to 2 days of waste that the Gurgaon city generates. Gurgaon has a population of 1.2 million people. So we were able to divert 2 days of waste from going to landfill. Being a small company, we were able to do that. Now, this number might sound exciting to few, and it might sound a very small number to others. That okay, if you are able to take care of only 2 days of waste, what about the other 365, 363 days of waste that is being generated in the city? So that is what exactly our point is. That if being a small company, if being a humble start, we could contribute to bring down our city's waste by 2 days, then we need 100, 150 such more companies who can help the city to go zero waste. And we need such companies in all over the country. So that is what I wanted to highlight through my presentation, that small incremental changes can actually bring big differences. So I would like to appeal all the young change makers. to pursue their career in this field of circular economy. The opportunities are immense. Challenges are there in every field, so are they in this field. But I believe that the problem that lies ahead of us really require young and bright minds who can solve this in a more sustainable manner, so that we can make our country and world a better place to live. Uh, that's what I had to present today to all the people who are attending the session. I'll be happy to take any questions if you have.
Thank you so much, Rahul. I personally believe that you are doing an amazing job in waste reduction in the Delhi NCR region in India. Like, I myself also take interest in this, and I also want to be a part of, some projects or something at the end of the day to, manage the waste, because Delhi NCR indeed, it's a need of an hour at this point of time, because the waste is increasing day by day. So, I just wanted to, just discuss with you, what do you think, like at a local government level in India, what kind of small, policy changes and implementations can be done, to manage the huge amount of waste, especially in developing countries where they are struggling with the waste, and given another fact that India also doesn't have a proper infrastructure to manage the electronic waste.
Right.
What do you think that, what kind of things can be, brought into the table to, make the changes?
Right, Manisha, very important question, because see, at end of the day, I think it is the local municipal corporation or local administration that has to play a very important role if we really want to effectively manage our waste. So see, if we understand the waste management scenario in India, then 2016 solid waste management rules, the framework is wonderful. They are comparable to one of the best frameworks that exists in the world, right? The challenge that we are facing, howsoever, is the implementation of it, and which is meant to be. I mean, it is only 2000. We started in 2016, so it's we are towards the start of our journey. So there are going to be some teething issues, but if there is something, one direct kind of action item that can be taken up by the local administration, is that just start following solid waste management rules 2016 as bible. If you start doing that, most of your problems are automatically going to find their place, and they're going to get settled, because the framework is wonderfully framed, and the only thing that we need to do is have to implement it with the whole heart. So that is something that we need to start working on.
Yes, definitely. Also, like I personally believed, don't you think there is also a lack of awareness? Because I myself was studying sustainability, and I was there in Goa for 3 months, where a lot of tourists come in. Like, Goa is one of the hub in India for tourism. So I saw, a lot of people throw waste, plastic waste, especially to the, water bodies, seas, and near the beach areas. And then again it becomes a hectic for the localites to arrange those waste, and put it to the right management for the waste management. So I think there is a lack of awareness as well, because people often don't understand, or sometimes they just think that it's just a waste and it's not my duty. I think from individual level we all have to take it seriously, because it is becoming difficult day by day, especially during the winters. The pollution level increases in Delhi NCR, which also affects the health of the population resided in this particular area. So yeah, I think so, and whatever you said, I totally agree with it. And I think you are doing an amazing job, and I hope that you will keep on doing, and definitely you are a change maker for the
Right.
country. Thank you so much, Rahul.
Thank you, Manisha. And one thing that I would like to add here, that honestly speaking, I really think that the level of awareness has gone up if we compare it with past 5 7 years. I think what we lack is the level of intent to do it. Everyone today in India understands that, okay. I mean, before, if I talk about before 2016, we would not even have known that what are the three colors of dustbin that are supposed to be there. Today, I think every kid in the country know, okay, apna kuda alag karo, green dustbin, red dustbin, blue dustbin. So I think the level of awareness has really increased, but the seriousness and the level of intention to implement that at the individual level and at a city level or at a town level, that is what we are lacking.
Yes, definitely. I agree. Thank you so much, Rahul. It was really nice hosting you at CH20. We hope for more collaborations with you and hope to see you
Thank you,
again.
Manisha.